Statement of purpose. Beyond being a mere admission requirement, it's a lifeline of your application process. Since you're not present physically to be able to present your application in person, it adds a life to your application. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about some tips and strategies on how to present a stellar statement of purpose. It's not rocket science, as you might have heard it. It just calls for a little bit of introspection. So please stay tuned and watch for more information. I'm Birudha Virkud, an alumni of Texas A&M University, who has for the last 20 plus years guided 12,000 plus students to get top global admits in universities like Carnegie Mellon University, Cornell University, Columbia, University of British Columbia, National University of Singapore, TU Delft, Netherlands, to name a few. Here are 5 pro tips of building a killer statement of purpose. I'm going to use the analogy of cooking your favorite dish here. And here are the 5 vital steps. Most importantly, you want to start collecting the raw material, just like when you're trying to make your favorite dish. Collect all the raw material well in advance of the application deadline. Put it down, make notes, and put it down into a questionnaire of sorts, where you are able to introspect and put down certain life experiences in your career span, which will help you position and present your statement of purpose in a perfect form. The next point that is important, point number 2, is connecting the dots. I have all the right ingredients. Now, if I have to make this perfect dish, I need to be able to sequentially use these ingredients in the right order to be able to convince the first time reader. The point 3 is also going to be related to what we discussed earlier. Making the story sound convincing. How do you do that? What is important here to understand is that your statement of purpose is not an extended resume. What would help here in terms of making your story sound convincing to the admissions committee is to follow the strategy of 3 R's, which basically is reason, relate, and rationalize. Let me give you an example here. So when you're trying to explain to the admissions committee that I have done a couple of projects, you need to explain this by trying to use the 3R methodology. You need to try and explain why you did these projects in the first place. How are these projects related to the subject that you're applying to? And last but not the least, what are the key takeaways? What are the learnings, both technically and professionally, from these projects? Because only then are they going to add value to your story. Do use this 3R formula, which will be really helpful in making your story convincing. The fourth aspect of the statement of purpose, which is very important, is to make the statement of purpose very precise and to the points. You have to ensure that it does not exceed more than 1 to 1.5 pages at any given time. How do you achieve this? You need to follow the anatomy of the statement of purpose. There are certain key parts of the statement of purpose which are very important and which are worth noting down. The first and foremost is the introduction. Now, this introduction needs to be a catchy introduction, definitely, because you need to hook the admissions committee to the rest of the story. So make your introduction sound interesting. Then move on to your technical story, which is going to be about your education background, and if you have any work experience and some projects and internships, that's going to be the body of the statement of purpose. The next aspect, which is very, very vital to the statement of purpose, is why do you want to do a master's or a PhD or an MBA abroad? What is that reason? What are those reasons that are prompting you to do this degree abroad? Explaining this in a convincing form is what is very important, which will help you actually nail the entire application decision. The other important aspect is, why are you selecting this university? Why do you in the first place want to apply to this university that you have selected? What are some of the key features which are motivating you to apply to this university? Is it the curriculum? Is it the course? Are the faculty, the research, the labs are important in this university? What has prompted you? And how does this program actually help you achieve your career goals? Because that's also what is needed. You can't just apply to the university because you want to apply. It should help you achieve your career goals at the end of the day. Last but not the least, the 5th point, very important, make it sound original. Do not use flowery language. Use formal English though, but make it sound very original. So what are the key takeaways from all these 5 pro tips that we have discussed so far? Most important thing about the statement of purpose is that this can make or break your application decision. It can tilt the application scale towards you. It can also help you bag certain scholarships when you are applying to universities abroad. So do take these pro tips into consideration and make your statement of purpose count. If you need more tips on such topics on the application process, please leave your comments below and stay tuned to our channel.